Giddy up. Could Giddey's Bulls, WNBA superstar Clark, play games in Australia? NBL chief Larry Kestelman has raised the prospect of luring one of the biggest names in women's sport, WNBA megastar Caitlin Clark, to Australian local shores, and will also go hard after local product Josh Giddey and his Chicago Bulls to head to Melbourne to play a series of pre-season games as early as next year. It marks a stunning follow-up to one of Kestelman's greatest moments since taking ownership of the NBL a decade ago, when on Tuesday he confirmed the New Orleans Pelicans will head to Melbourne in October to play against Melbourne United, October 3, and Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, October 5, at either John Cain Arena or Rod Laver Arena. The Pelicans are the first NBA team ever to tour Australia, but they do not have an Australian on their roster, having traded defensive wizard Dyson Daniels last year. Given that's the Pelicans' only confirmed trip to Melbourne, Kestelman will next pursue Giddey and his Bulls, a franchise made globally famous by Michael Jordan and their 2 three-peats of NBA championships in the 1990s. "We will go after them," Kestelman told this masthead. "Certainly the hope is to follow the Australians. That is the no one hope. How can we bring here our great players that are representing us so well in the NBA? That would be our first choice. The Chicago Bulls would be a good combination of both. No doubt we will be having a chat to them." Kestelman said attracting a WNBA franchise in their off-season is also on the agenda, and told this masthead bringing superstar shooter Clark and her Indiana Fever to Australia would be ideal. "It would be great to have them here," Kestelman said. Clark was drafted with the first overall pick less than a year ago and is already arguably the WNBA's biggest name following a record-breaking rookie season. Her Fever topped the league's attendance figures after consistently selling out games both at home and on the road, and 15,000 tickets for her return to Iowa, where she made her name in the college game, sold out in just 40 minutes for Indiana's preseason game against the Brazilian national team. In April last year, Clark signed a $28 million deal over 8 years with Nike, but earned just $76,120,000 from her rookie WNBA contract with the Fever, highlighting the pay disparity within the sport. A broadcast deal for this year's men's preseason games has yet to be brokered, with ESPN firmly in the mix. "This will be a celebration of everything basketball is in this country," Kestelman said. Kestelman, who has been involved in the NBL for almost 20 years, has long pursued an NBA game here, although logistics make it difficult for 2 American teams to tour at once. If 2 teams were to tour, Kestelman said games against NBL clubs would remain. The Pelicans' executive vice president of basketball operations, David Griffin, who took in United training on Monday and was impressed by emerging star Daniels, Dyson's younger brother, has a long-standing relationship with Kestelman. Griffin said New Orleans' full-playing roster, including former no-own pick Zion Williamson, will make the trip to Australia, although that roster could change considerably as the Pelicans have had a miserable campaign and will be active in the trade and draft periods. He said Australia's basketball pedigree made the country a natural fit for pre-season games, recalling his time watching both the Boomers and Opals at the Olympics, in particular the likes of Andrew Gaze, Shane Heal, Michelle Timms and Rachel Spawn, and Matthew Dellavedova's voracious defense on Steph Curry in the 2015 NBA Finals. Whether Dellavedova, now the United point guard, lines up against the Pelicans remains to be seen, given he is off contract and has been linked to a shift to the Phoenix or Sydney Kings. United Chief Executive Nick Trulson said on Tuesday a decision on Dellavedova's future will be made once the Grand Final series against Illawarra concludes. United claimed Game 1, with Game 2 at John Cain Arena on Wednesday night. Giddey scored a season-high 29 points to go with 10 rebounds as his Bulls recorded a 121-103 win over the Pacers on Tuesday, AEDT. News, results, and expert analysis from the weekend of sports sent every Monday. Sign up for our sport newsletter.